Welcome, everybody, to the next installment of the risk management video series put on by the Realtor Risk Management Subcommittee. The topic today is staying in your lane and acting within the scope of your competence. This is an important topic. Today, we have Rachel Eames with us, a member of our committee, to help us talk about this topic. It is important because it is a risk management tool to keep your claims down, but also equally important, it is specified in one of the components of the Code of Ethics and is set forth in detail in Article 11 of the Code of Ethics. Rachel, have you seen this issue come up in New Hampshire from a geographic perspective? And if so, how?
So, Matt, yes, I have. I think it's tempting for agents when they have family or friends that are moving out of their immediate market area that they've sold them something before and they want to continue that relationship. But the reality is, it's impossible to know what's going on in every backyard in the state of New Hampshire. And what do I mean by that? Planning boards, school issues, bonds, any number of things, road construction that's coming up. If you don't know a subdivision is going in behind that plot of land next summer, you're not doing your client any service by trying to take that on.
Well, and you raise a great point, because one of the trickiest areas of the law for agent and broker liability is those offsite conditions, and so that really becomes that's a tricky issue to defend against if you are the listing agent for property, and for example, in your example, it's in the public that a large subdivision is going in behind that property, and that's not disclosed to the potential buyers before the property comes in. It's unclear how a court would rule on that, but the practical matter, you just don't want to be in that situation. So find a local person, find someone with local knowledge. Beyond the geography, do you see other issues that realtors fall prey to in terms of veering out of their lane or getting out of the lane they should be in a real estate transaction?
I think sometimes what happens is when you have especially a very good working relationship with the client, you almost become conversational in discussing things with them. And it's important to keep your hat on of what you're licensed for. And therefore, you're not licensed as a home inspection person. You're not a contractor. You can't speak to what the insurance might cost on a property. Any number of those things. I think I see people, they kind of veer towards the yellow line a little bit, and they want to be helpful. And that's, I think, a lot of our nature as realtors, right? We're friendly people, we're outgoing, we want to be helpful, we're very service oriented. But it's really important to remember to be the source of the source. Not the person who can say, nope, I just don't see any issues with that roof. You just don't know. It'd be better to say, if you have concerns about the roof, then I think, we should contact someone who's a licensed contractor to look at that, and we can come up with, 3 or 4 names to help you sort that out.
It's great advice. Even I think people forget sometimes that the classic rule would be the source for the source. The realtors are really hired for the knowledge base, for their access to some of these other services, and being able to help buyers, access and utilize them if they need it in a transaction. But you're 100% correct. We should not be weighing in on the merits of some of these substantive issues that are outside the scope of what realtors are licensed to do in the state of New Hampshire. So that's great advice. Last but not least, and you also still see sometimes the issue of residential brokers potentially dipping their toe into commercial transactions.
I do. I think if you've been in the business long enough, you do see that. And again, the power of the referral. Commercial is a totally different skill set, is what I would put it. Yes, it is all the same license. Yes, you are licensed to sell both, but are you qualified to sell both? Do you understand ratios and caps and all sorts of other things? I mean, if you're looking up what triple net means on your way to the meeting, there's probably an issue. Find a good commercial realtor that you can refer the business to, keep that client for residential, get a referral fee, and most importantly, you've done the right thing for your client. You will sleep better at night, and you have done the right thing. And quite frankly, if you carry that flag of, how would I want to be treated? Is this what I would want somebody to do for me? You're doing the right thing.
That's great advice, since it even consistent with the Code of Ethics, Article 11, which speaks to that very issue. And so you're right. Realtors do not need to take on every transaction if it is outside of the scope of your expertise and what you've done. A good rule to remember in this process is you don't know what you don't know. So by the time you figure out that you may have overstepped your competency or gone beyond what you're comfortable doing, a claim may already have been filed, or you may have already received a letter from an unhappy customer or client, or even worse, potentially a lawyer. So try to avoid putting yourself in that situation. Understand at the front end whether this is a type of project you can take on, and if not, refer it to someone else within the realtor community. Keep the customer or client for the work that you do, and everyone will have a better relationship. That client will ultimately be happier. The odds of you getting more business from that client will frankly go up, because they will feel like they've been treated professionally. Your risk of claims and potential liability goes way down. It is a win for everybody. So, Rachel, thank you for your advice and feedback. Very helpful. I hope everybody enjoyed this installment of the risk management video series. Keep your eye out for future videos. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.